Anandam Shaladini Sadam She Sandhini Shiram Se Samvitayarat Jnana Karimani. Ladini is the aspect of bliss. Sandhini or eternal existence, and a Sambhi of cognizance, which is also accepted as a knowledge. So particularly these words, it explains about the Lord's one particular energy which has divided into three. And they are like a Ladini, which is like a bliss-giving potency of the Lord. Sandhini, which shows the eternal existence of Lord. And Sambhe is like cognizance, as Lord knows everything, or is a cognizant of everything. Jiva Goswami Pad in his commentary on a Bhagavad Sandarbha, he writes, the transcendental potency of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, by which he maintains his existence, is called Sandhini. The transcendental potency by which he knows himself, others to know him, is called Sambhi. The transcendental potency by which he possesses transcendental bliss and causes his devotees is called Ladini. Actually, none of the other sampradayas, they have this explanation about Lord's different energies. It's Lord himself, Lord Chaitanya, who has revealed to his eternal associates, like Swarup Damodar Goswami, whom days in Gambhira at Jagannath Puri. The total exhibition of these potencies is called Vishuddha Sattva, and this platform of a spiritual variegatedness is displayed in the world when the Lord appears here. The pastimes and manifestation of the Lord in the material world are therefore not at all material. They belong to the pure transcendental state. The Bhagavad Gita confirms that anyone who understands the transcendental nature of the Lord's appearance, activities, and disappearance becomes eligible for freedom from a material bondage. Upon quitting the present material tabernacle, he can enter the spiritual kingdom to associate with the Supreme Personality of a Godhead and reciprocate the Ladini potency in transactions between him and the Lord. In the mundane mode of a goodness, there are tinge of passion and ignorance. Therefore, mundane goodness being mixed is called Mishra Sattva. Transcendental variegatedness of Vishuddha Sattva is completely free from all mundane qualities. Therefore, the proper atmosphere in which experience the personality of a Godhead, and he is a transcendental pastime. Spiritual variegatedness is eternally independent of all the material conditions and from the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, both being absolute. The Lord and his devotees simultaneously perceive the Ladini potency directly by the power of the Sambhit potency. The Lord and his devotees simultaneously perceive the Ladini potency directly by the power of Sambhit potency. That's meant by the knowledge. And that knowledge, what they get it in the association of devotees. To know their Lordship is just not a mundane affair through which you can understand him, or by acquiring our material knowledge. That's why Lord himself, when he imparts the spiritual knowledge to his mother, between Kapila Muni and Devavati in Srimad Bhagavatam, he says, now I have spoke to you about the devotional service and varieties of devotional service. But if you really want to know the essence, then you should associate with my devotees. And Samvit is the potency through which Lord, he makes his devotees to understand. And that's why in Bhagavad Gita he says, Tesham evanu kampartham aham jnanam ajam tamaha nashayami atma bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvata. Knowledge in your heart by seeing your surrender. And that's why it is said, unless and until one attains that Vishuddha Sattva, that knowledge will not develop in your heart, or Lord will not really reveal that knowledge in your heart, through which you can understand. So the Ladini potency, that means, explain, she is none other than the Srimati Radharani. To understand Radharani is not that easy. You need to have a proper knowledge. Otherwise, on the mundane, we may consider as just an ordinary woman with whom Lord used to have an affair. That's a very crude understanding of the mundane people. They think his wife was Rukmini and Srimati Radharani was just his affair. With that understanding, you can't perceive Lord's Leela. But most of the Bhagavatkar, they narrate all this Rasa Pancha Adhyaya in front of such an audience, understanding about Srimati Radharani, and not about the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is like a very high study to understand about the real identities and his wonderful devotees. So further here, Prabhupada says, the material modes of a nature control the conditioned souls, but the Supreme Personality of a Godhead is never influenced by these modes. Creatures directly and indirectly corporate. Lord Krishna himself says in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 25th chapter, 12th verse, Sattvam rajastamayiti guna jivasya naiva me. Of a goodness, passion, ignorance are connected with the conditioned soul, but never with me. The same message is conveyed in Bhagavad Gita also. The Lord says that it's me who resides in everyone's heart. But the foolish person or human being or a soul who is influenced by the three modes of material nature considers himself as a doer. Kartaham iti manyate. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha. Ahankara vimudatma karta aham iti manyate. The Lord says that my modes of material nature, they are acting in the spiritual in the material world, and influenced by them, the living entity, he performs activities. But because of his foolishness, he thinks himself that he is the doer. He never understands that these modes of material nature belongs to the Lord. So Lord never come under the influence of these modes of material nature. Got it? Okay. Then the further it says in the Vishnu Puran, Satvadayo na santishye yatra na prakatat gunaha sashuddha sau sarva shuddhebhyam puman adya prasidato. The Supreme Personality of a Godhead, Vishnu, is beyond the three qualities of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Qualities exist in him. May that original person, Narayana, who is situated in a completely transcendental position, be pleased with us. In the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 27, 4th verse, Indra praised Krishna as follows. Vishuddha sattvam tavadhama shantam swarajastamastam mayamayoyam gunasam pravraha na vidyate te anubandha. My dear Lord, your abode is Vishuddha Sattva, always undisturbed by the material qualities. And the activities there are in a transcendental loving service unto your feet. The goodness, austerity, and penance of the devotees enhance such activities which are always free from the contamination of passion and ignorance. Material qualities you are under any circumstances cannot touch you under any circumstances. When not manifested, the modes of material nature are said to be in the goodness. When they are externally manifested and active in producing the varieties of material existence, they are said to be in passion. There is a lack of activity and variegatedness, they are said to be in ignorance. In other words, the pensive mood is goodness, activity is passion, and inactivity is ignorance. Above all, the mundane qualitative manifestation is Vishuddha Sattva. When it is predominant by the Sandhini potency, it is perceivable as an existence of all that be. When predominated by the Samvit potency, it is perceived as a knowledge in the transcendence. When predominated by the Ladini potency, it is perceived as the most confidential love of God. Vishuddha Sattva. The simultaneous manifestation of these three one is the main feature of the kingdom of Godhead. It's a bit technical to understand because it needs a proper background, then only you can understand this. Because it's like a PhD studies, and to do PhD you need to have a post-graduation. Only graduation will not be easy to understand this. Unless and until you understand the creation part which has explained in Chaitanya, in Srimad Bhagavatam, and the different pastimes of the Lord, and you attain this Vishuddha Sattva, then further it becomes easy to understand the different elevated levels of consciousness and the activity performed on that level. So here it is clearly explained as unless and until one attains this Vishuddha Sattva, means which is not disturbed by the modes of material nature and which is there in the Vaikuntha. So at that level when you reach, then there that Vishuddha Sattva gets influenced by different potencies of the Lord. When it gets influenced by the Sandhini Shakti, the Sat potency of the Lord, then the eternity you can realize. When it gets influenced by the potency of Lord's Chitta Shakti, which is known as a Samvit, then you will get that knowledge through which you can understand the next potency of the Lord, that is Ladini. And when you really understand about the Ladini Shakti, then you will feel that eternal bliss. So outwardly, which seems to be very easy, that just chant and be happy, it's not that easy. You have to keep chanting, 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 and chanting. And when you reach that Vishuddha Sattva, then it's possible to be happy. Otherwise, people they think, oh, I've chanted for last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, but still I'm suffering. Why we are suffering? Because still we are getting influenced by the modes of material nature. The chanting by which you can realize that bliss is totally different. Once in a lifetime we have did that. That's why we have got this test, so that we are continuing every day to chant. Definitely, we got that test. But to remain continuous in that test, what Lord says? Remember this verse from Bhagavad Gita, 8.14. Memorize this. There Lord says, Ananya cheta satatam yomam smarati nityashaha tasyaham sulava partha nitya yuktasya yoginaha. Ananya cheta satatam. Ananya, undeviated mind. Satatam, constantly. Nitya, regularly. If you are constantly, regularly engaged in remembering their Lordship, then Lord says it becomes very easy to attain that Vishuddha Sattva. And then we can get that bliss, which is explained here. The absolute truth is therefore the substance of reality eternally manifest in the three energies. The manifestation of this internal energy of the Lord is the inconceivable variegated spiritual world. The manifestation of the marginal energy comprises the living entities, and the manifestation of external energy is material cosmos. Therefore, the absolute truth includes the four principles: the Supreme Personality of a Godhead Himself. Second, His eternal internal energy, His marginal energy, and His external energy. The form of the Lord and the expansions of His form as a Swayam Rupa and Vayabhav Prakash are directly the enjoyers of the internal energy. Eternal exhibitor of the spiritual world, the most confidential of the manifestations of energy. The external manifestation provides the covering bodies, living entities. From Brahma down to the insignificant ant, energies is manifested under the three modes of material nature. In the various ways by living entities in the both higher and lower forms of life. Three divisions of the internal potency, the Sandhini, Sambit and Ladini energies, one of the external potencies by which the conditioned souls are conducted. Such an influence manifests the three qualitative modes of material nature. Definitely or definitely that the living entities, the marginal potency and eternally servitors are eternally servitors of the Lord and are therefore controlled by either the internal or the external. So being marginal potency